Here are 5 free lead generation strategies that you can do in your photography business that I want you to try and implement and start today. So we're gonna dive into 5 of them. Here we go. So I want to give this to you in a non-fluff, quick, actionable way. So I'm going to power through these and explain them just briefly so that you can just get some ideas of these free lead generation strategies that you can do. So starting off with number 1, and that is vendor referrals. And I want you to think about scattering this all throughout the board. Think about connecting with all different types of vendors so that you can get on a referral program with them, get into their world, and that you guys can start referring each other. What you could do is pick maybe 2 of each type of vendor that you are creating your own little vendor circle for, and that you guys are all just interchanging and referring each other to all sorts of things. Another thing you can do with this too is create like a referral kickback program too. So if you say, okay, if this wedding planner sends you this wedding and you get it booked, that you would then in return give them a percentage kickback of that package. You can get really creative with how you do that, but create your own little vendor circle that you are sending referrals to each other. And the key to this too, I think I want you to think of scattering all throughout, doing all different types of vendors for this. But if you think about the types of vendors people are going to before they're going to photographers, this also might be helpful to get more inquiries, like more consistently and more frequently as well. So think about venues and wedding planners, the vendors that brides are going to possibly before a photographer. That's not always the case, but thinking about that as well. And then number 2 is vendor connections. So really, to get those vendor referrals, you really need to rely on having vendor connections. So what I want you to do, kind of like a little follow-up task from number 1, is I want you to write an actionable step. Write 5 vendors of each kind of vendor that you would love to work with. So for example, I want you to write down and find 5 wedding planners, 5 venues, 5 florists, 5 bakeries, calligraphers, DJs, whoever, 5 different vendors of every type that you would love to work with. And I want you to reach out to them. I have specific vendor email like pitch templates that I send and kind of have as a base that I can create that connection and then like reach out to them and then return hopefully to work together, get on each other's preferred vendor list. Like I was talking about, getting in that circle of network of referrals that you want to do. But I don't think this is a situation where you can over network. There's no such thing as having too many connections. Like hit it hard and get going with it, because I think that that's going to be really beneficial for you. The more that you can be top of mind and in someone's mind and in someone's world, you're going to be top of mouth, I guess. Like that sounds weird, but you're going to be the first person someone thinks about when they think of a photographer if you're making more connections. And then number 4 is a referral program, kind of like I talked before. This could be with other vendors, this could be with your clients or your past clients, creating a referral program that's going to make people want to come back to you, and it's going to incentivize them as well. It's going to make people want to say, oh yeah, you have to go to Rachel because she's doing this, and you get this if you refer my name, or I get this if I refer your name, or we both get this if I refer you and you book her. Think about having a referral program, and how then is that being communicated to your past clients and to your current clients? If you ask yourself right now, do they know that you have a referral program? First of all, do you have a referral program? And if you do your clients know about it? Is it clear on how it works? Is it clear on a specific code that they have to do or what they specifically get in return? Or have you created social media graphics for them to easily use and easily market for themselves? Because remember, it's not your client's job to market you, it's your job to market yourself. Sure, you can leverage past clients and potential clients and current clients. You can leverage them, but it's not their job. So you need to give them the resources in which makes it really easy for them to be able to market you and want to market you. Something that I suggest and I like to do as well is create social media graphics, whether that be a post or a story. A story can kind of be a little less intimidating, but all you have to do is create a template and then go in and plug one of the photos. If you've already photographed their wedding or their session, plug in one of their photos from their wedding day into that graphic so that they can share it with their audiences, because their audience is going to connect with that more if it's a picture of them, because your client is the connection point between you and your future client. The client in which are going to learn about you is through that middle client. So it's that connection point of, if they see that middle client, they're going to say, oh, okay, here's my friends that I know, and then here's the girl that took that picture. Okay, now that's clicking and now that's making sense. So I think it's really powerful when you can do that. And it might take a little extra time, but if you photograph 15 weddings, you just have to make 15 templates, like one template, but then just plug in 15 photos, or like a photo in each. It won't take you that long to do. So something to think about there when you're thinking about your referral program, when you're thinking about your marketing and all of that stuff. Next lead generation strategy is creating a wedding album. This is something that you can either do yourself or you can collaborate with a vendor, a venue, like a wedding venue on, is create an album, a wedding album, a physical, tangible wedding album that the wedding venue can set on their coffee table, or any other vendor. So maybe people are going in to jewelry stores. That could be something. But I do find the most return on investment, the most ROI with wedding venues. So I would start there. You can either create one on your own and just have this be an out of pocket expense, almost like an advertising and marketing expense, or you can work with the venue to go in on it together, or tell them that you're going to give them access to the full gallery and they can create one if they'd like to for free. For like, you're not going to charge them for the images, you're not going to do anything like that. They can create this wedding album for free. And then what's going to happen is, as couples are touring venues and touring that venue, you never know when it could be, your wedding album of a wedding you photographed is sitting on a coffee table in tangible form, that they're maybe sitting and waiting for their tour, or they're touring the getting ready space and they want to take and look at it and be like, okay, I see the space here, but what's it going to look like on a wedding day when there's dresses hanging everywhere, when there's makeup and artists out, or when this full pavilion is fully set up with tables and florals and all that stuff? What does that look like? So you're almost being that connection point again of, here's the space, I'm here and I'm seeing it, but then also here's the tangible photos of opening up and be like, oh, this is what it could look like. And this is who could help me make it look like this. You're that connection piece. And so I've seen a really good ROI on just having wedding albums at venues. It helps if you've already shot there, because then, you can already have that portfolio. But if you have not shot there yet, there's still other ways to collaborate with that wedding venue to, be on a preferred vendor list. Or what you could do is even just have an engagement session and just a smaller wedding album, and have it maybe offer a couple, or ask the venue and ask a couple if they would want to do their engagement session at a venue. If they have like a pretty outdoor space, or even just a pretty space in general, see if they'd be willing to do an engagement session there. And then you can maybe even just have that to start with. I do find that this works really well if you've already shot at the venue. So start there, but there are ways around it if you haven't shot there too, as well. Next one is keyword automation. So you may have seen this as well. I also have a guide that talks about my keyword generation process as well. So this pairs really well with a giveaway, or I know this is a little bit more social media-y, but it's where you have a post on social media that says like, comment the word freebie to get this basically. And so they comment that word, and then it automatically sends to them a message that is automatically sent to them, and it has either the link to your freebie to grow your email list, or it provides them a resource, or just starts a conversation that you can just start a conversation over DMs and create that connection that way, which then in turn is probably going to funnel and lead to inquiries if you're wanting it that way. And so I think keyword automation is really powerful in terms of lead generation. And that's something that I have seen a really good ROI on with doing keywords. So that could be something that is helping you even prep for busy season, or just getting more warm leads into your inbox so that you can keep them in your inbox, create and start a conversation, or grow them to your email list. All right. And then another one we kind of touched base on was guest blog posts. So this is kind of falls under like a collaboration type of thing. So maybe you have a wedding venue that you really love shooting at, or you really want to shoot at, or a wedding planner you'd love to work with, or you'd love to highlight and feature on your blog. What you can do is reach out, and this is under my like vendor pitch email templates as well, and tell them, hey, I'd love to feature you as a guest, like a guest on my blog. Here's some questions. I'm going to provide you some questions that all you really have to do is answer it. And I'm going to create the blog post myself from the answers that you provided. So it's really no pressure or like a lot of work on your end, because you're just going to answer these questions and I'm going to create a blog post that features and highlights your services. And then that's really good. Like I'll backlink then to your website and all of that stuff. That's going to help with SEO. That's also going to help if someone searches for that wedding planner. Your blog post might pop up and be like, oh, well, I'd love to have this planner and I'd love to have a photographer that knows this planner and works well with this photographer or planner. So these two seem like they work well together. I'm going to hire both of them. And so, and you can do this for anybody. It can be any vendor, it can be anyone else in or outside of the industry. Guest blog posts are huge for SEO and then in return for lead generation strategy as well.
Okay, so those are 5 quick ways that you can get lead generation in your photography business, but I actually made a video with 13 ways. So if you want to watch the full 13, click the link in the description. It will show you the full video. But I hope that these were at least somewhat helpful if you want 5, but I know you want the full 13. So go get the full 13. And thank you for watching this one, and we'll see you in the next one.